Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing game rules by Chaosium. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. While we try very hard to stick to language for all ages, listeners should know that this podcast may include mature themes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., that may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your keeper. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways Podcast. I'm your keeper, Keeper Michael, and we return to Masks for Nyarlathotep and our Kenya chapter. As we like to do at the top of the show, we'd like to thank you, the listener, and especially you, the Patreon supporter. We are inching ever so close to 1,000 YouTube subscribers. We'd like your help over on YouTube, so search us over there, The Old Ways Podcast. And if you'd like to check out what we have to offer on Patreon, you can. That's patreon.com/The Old Ways Podcast. And now we're going to get to investigator introductions. So to my right.
This is Tiffany, and I play Maeve O'Shea, and the bitch fucked around.
It's clear she found out as well. So we'll have to mark another hash here on the number of bodies that you've left behind in your wake. And to Miss O'Shea's right.
This is Morgan. I play Lillian Lane, and it was a hot time in the old city tonight.
It was. Nothing has burned to the ground at this point, but
Yet.
The night is young. At the end of the table.
This is Jake. I'm playing Jack Doyle, and I think we committed many atrocities earlier.
I think you committed many atrocities upon a single person.
Yeah.
Which was kind of the point, actually. To Mr. Doyle's right.
This is Lonnie, and I play Robert Drummond, and I have no knowledge of anything that any of these people are talking about, and I would like to tell the police that I'm completely innocent.
You know, playing dumb is only going to work so long, but you might be able to run out the clock, but we'll see. And to Mr. Drummond's right.
Hello, this is James, and I'll be playing Dr. Sigmund Tattenbach. And what am I going to do with all this unused burn ointment? I assumed I put ahead.
We'll certainly find a use for it. Last, most certainly not least.
This is Alex playing Sambolon, whose epitaph almost tragically read, shot to death by a goddamn extra.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And it serves as a reminder that impales work both ways. And so we'll get things started sort of where we left off, which is a group of investigators running through the streets of the Asian Quarter, fleeing the events of the previous episode. And so I'll just ask, where are you going?
Well, I don't have long before the magic holding my insides inside and the looming pain of a chest cavity full of shot. It's kind of pending, so I don't waste a whole lot of time moving us towards Swahili Town. And at this point, I hope I have a decent grasp of the main thoroughfares in this part of Nairobi, so I will try to use side streets and alleys whenever practical, but we're not going to be doing any waiting or hiding.
Okay.
More so, I want to make sure that, hopefully we're just not being followed. That would be ideal. But I will leave that to other, more alert people to do as I'm trying to get us forward. So once we break the outskirts, I'll slow down a bit and make sure that no one has, weapons out. And if anybody is, then I would probably ask them to put them away. And I'll make sure that it doesn't look like I'm openly carrying anything.
It certainly doesn't look like you're openly carrying anything. The biggest thing that you're probably seeing as a red flag is the amount of blood you're losing as you're moving.
Right. My goal is to head toward the mission.
Okay.
And if there's somewhere I can put the group within eyesight, I'm not going to leave them far behind. I just don't want the whole crowd moving toward the door at this moment in time.
Sure.
So if I can kind of put them somewhere nearby, I would like to do my best to get the attention of Dr. Starrett without causing a disturbance. So is the mission door open? I guess that'll be the first question.
The mission door is not open. It is a little late in the evening at this point.
It is.
There are lights on, but
I will knock twice, sharply and quickly, and then wait.
Okay, so while that is going on, are the rest of you just hiding across the street, or what's the situation?
Yeah, basically keeping an eye out, watching, make sure we weren't followed or the police aren't about to swoop down on us.
Yeah, if you all want to make spot hidden rolls while he's doing that, go right ahead. This isn't something you'll get a chance to do, Sam, as you're doing something.
So busy.
Besides holding your guts in.
18 out of 75.
That is a fantastic roll.
12 out of 88.
86 out of 99.
83 out of 65. I saw nothing.
98 over 80.
Okay. So, any interest in pushing that?
You know what? Doc is actually probably more distracted by the amount of blood that Sam is losing. So I'm going to say he's not being very observant towards the outside right now.
Okay. So for our 3 investigators who did make that roll, I would just say this in varying success degrees. So Jack, for you are fairly certain that there's an enormous commotion that's been raised as you have left. It's sort of like a ripple effect you seem to be having on the city. For you, Miss Lane, it's fairly clear that alarm bells have been raised. You can hear them, and you can see houses are, becoming a little bit more aware here in the middle of the night. Lights have come on. People are now out in the street. The space between the Asian Quarter and Swahili Town is a fair distance, but the thing to remember is that Nairobi is about 5,000 people. It's not very big. And so for you, Miss O'Shea, who has the greatest degree of success, you're fairly clear, at least by sight and sound, that people are following the noise. So they noticed what happened, and they likely have noticed 6 some odd figures running through the streets. And there are people likely coming to your position relatively quickly.
I'm going to look at everybody else and be like, we need to split up.
I will go, Sam, just so he does not bleed to death.
Right. All right, yeah, let's split up. 2 and 2.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll go with Drummond.
Okay. I'll take Maeve. Head back to the hotel. Get our stuff ready.
Yeah, stuff's ready to get out.
I mean, we've already packed it up pretty well, but yeah.
Okay.
Hey, do these 2 have any blood on them?
Mr. Drummond has quite a bit of blood on him. He was ground zero at putting a gun in someone's face and shooting. So there's arterial spray all over him.
I'm wearing black, so...
You need to get cleaned up before you go back to the hotel.
It doesn't mean there's not blood. It's just harder to see.
It's hard to see. No, that's why I pointed out I'm wearing those robes, so...
This is all being said, right, we're still in a group, right?
Yeah, except for Sam, who's gone to the door of the
who's
mission.
gone to the door. Okay, then real quick, Doc takes his jacket off and hands it to Drummond. Doc has a size of 65. Drummond has a size of 55, so it'll be a little big on him, but it's not covered in blood.
Okay.
When I take my jacket off, I will wipe my face and exposed parts on the inside lining of the jacket to try and remove some of the excess.
So here's what happens. You take your jacket off and you start trying to get some of the spray off. And what it looks like is you put face paint on now. So I don't know how familiar you are with it or how familiar the listening audience is, but blood does not come off very easy. It goes everywhere. Now, you get a lot of it off, but it does look like there's either mud or something smeared all over your face. So the ruse might play for the first few moments, but someone will eventually notice that your face is covered with blood. What you need is water or some type of cleansing agent to get it off you.
Right, but I need to be able to move enough to get to water.
Certainly. Now you can do the jacket swap and you'll be a lot less conspicuous, but it's not like a perfect disguise by any means.
You know what? Maybe Maeve and Lillian should go together, and Drummond and I will go together. We'll try to get cleaned up somewhere, because I'm sure I've got blood all over me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Given the fact that you were holding her down once she got shot in the head. So at the door of the mission, there is the slight break between the 2 doors, and there is light. And you see a rather, I guess, not shaken, but perhaps just a little out of it, Dr. Starrett, who's trying to get his spectacles on.
Dr. Starrett, it would seem unfortunate evenings continue to bring us together.
Sam, what are you doing here at this hour?
I guess I won't play with words. Myself and my friends have been through a fight with a very dangerous group of people who will likely be looking for us very soon. I don't intend to burden you with sheltering us. I'm hoping that you can point us somewhere nearby or even out of town where we can be safe for a
Are
time.
you bleeding?
I'm sure I'll be fine. I don't want to put you or anyone inside in further danger. I should know where else to go.
Doc is going to advance up on the door, basically behind Sam, and help him inside.
Forcibly help him inside?
Kinda.
Yeah, so you walk up to the door, and Starrett opens it just a little, probably no wider than maybe like his head. And he looks at you, Doctor, and is seemingly a bit befuddled, and likely concern sort of splashes across his face.
Guten Tag.
Please, we don't have much time.
Come inside, the both of you.
Dankeschön, Herr Doctor.
I look over my shoulder. Where are the rest? The others?
They have decided to go get cleaned up and head back and grab our things from the hotel.
Okay. How long has it been, by the way, since the fight?
I'm going to say about 5-10 minutes at most.
Okay. Once I feel, so if the doctor's invited me in and Tottenbach is here and the group has decided to depart, I think I'm just going to opt to pass out now. This sounds like a great time for me to stop concentrating on negating the pain of my injuries and whatever magic is holding me together.
Yeah.
So I think collapsing in the doorway is a great way to go out.
You collapse into the arms of the doctor, who does not let you fall to the ground, probably.
No. Oh, come here, boy. Yep, this way, onto the chair. There you are.
Dr. Starrett takes... he reaches down, sort of, I guess, out of subconscious muscle memory, and just grabs Sam's legs and says to you, we have a room over here. We can take him to the table.
Wunderbar.
So that is where the two of you are at.
Just for the keeper's notes, and I don't know how this would play with the medical people. So I technically have 15 out of 17 hit points, but I haven't dealt with the pain of getting shot yet. So those are all, I have no idea how those things collide. Do what you will.
Oh, I'll figure it out, I'm sure. For those of you the rest of you, are you splitting 2 to 2, and are some people going to the hotel, or is the whole group going to the hotel?
No, I think we're going to split 2 and 2. And
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're going like different, like basically out and around and then back to the hotel, if that makes sense.
Okay. So you're going to the hotel and you're going to the hotel, but just in different ways.
It'll probably
Right,
take
so-
us longer because we have to find somewhere to wash up.
Yeah.
Right, because I don't want it to look like it's all of us traveling, like people have seen.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Miss O'Shea and Miss Lane, you head back towards the hotel. Now, Swahili Town is not terribly far from Hampton House Hotel. It's maybe a 5 or 10 minute walk. The nice part about it is that it is a walk you've made a couple of times now. You have some bearing on where things are, so you know even at night we can probably get around, this way and this way.
yeah, I'll probably pause at the park too to like sit on a bench to see so it seems like we just went out for a walk and we're like, enjoying the night also, so that we can stop and look around and see if there's anyone following or anything like that.
It's clear that men from the police station have likely gotten to the Asian Quarter now. There is an awful lot of raised voices. You don't make anything out as far as distinct sounds. You can't tell what they're saying, but you can tell that there is an alarm going on. For your part, Miss Lane, you would notice just on that park bench while you're sitting with Maeve that most of the lights in the hotel are out.
Well, and I am still strapped with my rifle, so that makes for a lovely night stroll in a park. I lean over. We might have a problem when we go back to the hotel.
Do I still have Predator sight up? If I don't, I'm going to use it again.
You don't have it up, but you can put it up at will at this point.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to look at the hotel and see if I can see any figures moving. Heat signatures moving, I should say.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of heat coming from inside the hotel.
Uh-huh.
It's mostly concentrated in a lot of the rooms upstairs.
Okay.
Given the time,
Most people are sleeping.
But
I can tell if they're like laying down or if they're standing up.
Right, you can tell if they're laying down or standing up. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, no, there's something funny going on in that room. But yeah, for the most part, it looks like the hotel guests are asleep. Most of them are laying down.
Okay. What about on the staff level, like on the first level?
The lobby. The lobby's
Yeah.
still lit.
Yeah, the lobby is not lit actually.
Oh.
And you don't see a lot of heat signatures. There's one or two. And they seem to be near the bar. What you think, if you remember correctly, where the bar is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have to go by what I can remember. Well, I don't know if we want to wait for the gentleman, but there's two figures by the bar where the lobby isn't lit.
But the bar is further back, right? From the lobby.
A little bit, yeah. It's basically like you would walk into the through the double doors of the hotel. You would see reception, which is somewhat nearby, and then there's sort of a big open sitting area, and then beyond that is where the dining area and the bar are.
But it's all one open.
Yeah, it's fairly open, I would say.
I think 2 is less than 4.
Yeah. I mean, depending who or what they are.
We could draw less attention to ourselves. What would you like to do?
The only other thing is if we can get in and up the stairs before anybody notices.
What if we went around back? There are doors around back?
I don't know if there's doors around back.
The thing I would like you to remember here, and it's not that you've suggested otherwise, do not think of the Hampton House Hotel as a modern hotel, one with 3 or 4 different ways to exit on the ground level.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how this place is built. So that's just something to keep in your mind. Like, actually, I don't think you know.
I don't know that Drummond did.
Yeah, so you don't even know about that door.
Right.
But yeah, that's just something to think about.
I feel like we're going to leave anyway, so we can't grab everybody's stuff.
No. I mean, I can barely grab mine.
So while you ladies are at the park considering a few things, Jack, where are you and Mr. Drummond going to clean up?
I'm finding a rain barrel.
Yeah.
That's the easiest solution.
Fairly viable.
Right.
There would be rain barrels likely in Swahili Town, so not probably too very far from the mission. These rain barrels would be in between people's houses for collection for the irrigation of crops and then and just personal water for that matter. So here's what I'm going to have you do, though. I would like you to make a stealth roll to see if you can, let's just say, clean up in private without having an owner on you in the middle of the night.
I will spend 5 luck to make that a 70 under 70.
Mm-hmm.
I have 41 under 82, so I got a hard success.
Okay. You do so. The two of you, in the middle of the night, between the different corrugated metal houses that are here, find a spot where you can get a drum of water, and you manage to clean up in the dark. I don't know if you've ever cleaned up in the middle of the night in the dark.
I have, yes.
It is not as exact as you would hope, but you feel like you got most of it off of you. At least you think. And if you're going to utilize your other jacket, the one that is already so covered, if you're going to use the inside of it as a rag, for lack of a better term, you probably get most of your face clear. To say nothing of like the lower part of your clothes. There's not much you can do about that until you get replacement clothes.
Right. And then we'll head back to the hotel. Where our rooms?
Mm-hmm.
What's the second floor, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
right?
they're upstairs.
What part of the building are they on?
Given the fact that there are likely 4 rooms at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Sam didn't take a room at the hotel to my knowledge. So 4 or 5 rooms. I mean, there's probably an entire sort of back wing of the hotel that you're...
Okay. But I'm thinking about maybe seeing if we can, if one of those lights are on, that means they're in their room. If we can get them to drop us some clothes or something.
Fair enough.
So you're going to head over to the hotel?
Yeah.
All right. So Miss Lane, Miss O'Shea, at what point after sitting in the park do you make a decision about what you're going to do? And like how you're going to approach it, or if you are at all?
I lean over to Maeve and ask if the bodies at the bar have moved at all.
A little bit, but not much.
A little, but not much. Do they look like they're crouching or they're just standing there?
No, it looks like they're standing there.
Just in the dark.
Well, if there were lights on at the back bar of the hotel, you couldn't tell.
Oh, okay. So all I'd be able to see is just
Maybe
that the
a
lobby's
slight,
off.
Yeah. Because like your sensory perceptions, as long as they last, you can only see through so much space and so much wall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we should go inside and get our stuff.
Yeah, I think we should just go in and head straight for the stairs, which I'm assuming is like you go in and then they're to the left.
The way I imagine the hotel is you likely go in, you probably make a slight left, and then you head towards the open area, and there's probably a very wide staircase that goes upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just act as nonchalantly as we can.
Yeah.
We've come back from a night out.
Keep in mind, it is fairly late.
I'm a wild woman.
Okay.
Right. I was like, if we have to, I'll just link arms with Lillian and we'll like go in and be like, shh, and like giggling and like, telling each other like we were
yeah.
out.
To see how
Pretend
that
that
goes over.
we've been
Yeah.
drinking with my rifle on my. I mean, I was there it's for me to protect us.
Nobody messes with a woman with carrying a rifle.
Not likely, no.
No.
Especially if she's like an intoxicated European woman with a rifle
I mean, she is wearing the pants.
I am.
and the
And the
boots.
boots with the fur.
Right.
I'm just saying.
She probably has an axe somewhere.
It's
Lodged.
a hatchet.
It's a knife now, remember?
Oh, the curved
Yeah,
one.
The curved one.
Yep,
It's
yep.
a curved knife now. Yeah. She's a dangerous woman. Okay, so you head over to the hotel and you go to the front doors.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna go in and head straight for the stairs.
You reach out, grab the door handle, and it's locked.
Have we come back this late before?
No.
What time is it?
What time is it, Mrs. Fox?
Yes.
At this point, it's probably 10:30, 11.
Oh.
Now, again, we're in 1925, not in 2023.
Right.
Yeah.
Most
You-
people are in bed by like 8 o'clock. or
Well,
whatever.
9 o'clock at the very least. And then you're going to think about a hotel. They're not just going to leave their front door open.
Right. Because they don't have somebody sitting there 24/7.
So, yeah, you pull on that handle and it goes nowhere.
Do we have to knock?
I don't know. I don't know.
You see, not too far to your right, there is a rope. It has a small little tassel at the end of it. There's a sign, and in English it says ring for service.
I'll reach over and grab the rope.
Okay.
Should we do it? All right.
It doesn't take very much pull power. You barely touch the rope and you hear ding, 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 ding as multiple bells go off.
Oh, it's going to wake the whole neighborhood.
And for you, Miss O'Shea, this is sort of terrifying because the thing that you see is now a bunch of warm shapes start moving towards the door. There's at least 5.
Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on all of them. As best as I can. Watching.
So a few moments later, the door opens and there is a tall African man. He's probably a little over 6 foot. And he looks out the door and says, "May I help you?"
We stayed out a little too late.
"You are out very late."
Yeah, and then we heard some alarms, and so we came running back. But I mean, apparently we shouldn't have been out drinking.
He looks past you and looks at Lillian. You see him like furrow his brow.
Oh, I just carry this for safety. It's dangerous for ladies like us to be out after dark like this.
He gives you a really funny look. Like he steps back, and he opens the door.
I'll go in and thank you.
They have a light now on. Light gets turned on. There's 3 or 4 staff members here. So now we'll make some spot hidden rolls for them. You walk through the lobby, and in the light, make out something that is telling. It's not any of the gentlemen here in the lobby. All the staff seem to be giving you a reasonably wide berth. Lillian most of all, because she's carrying a hunting rifle.
Mm-hmm.
When she turns to go to the stairs, she's naturally just a little bit lighter on her feet than you are. You see that her whole right side is covered with spatters of blood.
Can I?
It runs all the way down her leg.
Can I
and in her
step
boots.
in front of her?
You can. It's not impossible for you to get in front of her. The issue is that her perceptions have already picked up that one of the staff members
has noticed it.
Has noticed it and is reacting to it. Like,
Do I notice them reacting?
now you're moving.
I step up close to her and I put my hand on her back and start like rushing her up the stairs.
Go on. Get.
There goes those pair of pants.
The two of you get up the stairs. And we'll say that you get to your rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And you begin the process of getting into clean clothes.
Yeah, I'm gonna point out to Lillian like, the fuck.
I look down.
Yeah, your
No.
right side is totally coated with not just blood, but like spray and matter.
At least it's not mine. Yep. I change.
It's at this point, our other 2 investigators who are out and about get to the hotel.
Okay, we go bound back.
You go around back. Drummond knows where there's a service entrance.
Oh, there's an entrance.
It is an entrance.
And it's probably locked.
Well, that's not a problem.
It definitely is locked.
Yeah. All right. I will proceed to attempt to unlock the back door.
Okay.
Hey, that's like damn fine roll.
Okay. You begin to pick the lock on the back door. It's going to take you 2 rounds to do so.
And I'm going to stand there and scope the street. Well, the back alley.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really getting much, it seems anyway, of direct movement. What you're hearing is, what you're noticing is more the auditory, right? It's the hearing things happen, like the alarm bells, like the people from across the park who seem to be in distress or concerned, that sort of thing. It's far enough away from you that it doesn't give you a concern other than it's an external potential threat that may roll into, your neighborhood relatively soon.
Right.
The door unlocks with the help of one Jack Doyle.
Quietly and slowly open it, just a crack, just to see.
It's dark back here. It's hard to make out exactly what it is. There's an open space back here. It smells like a kitchen.
Okay. I mean, as long as there's nobody in here.
Yeah, you don't see anybody in there.
Right.
You see a bit of a glow from a head in the kitchen. Maybe it's a light left down at the bar.
Let me think. Thinking back, where does the kitchen must open up towards the bar?
It does eventually. It comes out by the bar and then by the dining room.
Is there another door?
Boy, that's hard to remember for you now.
Yeah.
But not hard for me to remember.
No, because you've been spying and eyeing on it, yeah.
I assume that there's a door toward the servants' quarters. I also assume there might be a bathroom door.
Yeah, there is a staff door.
And like I said, I assume there might be some sort of bathroom or cleaning area?
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, we'll try that.
Okay. I mean, it's a one-man
Well,
location unless the two of you are going to get real friendly.
no, that's fine. We can go one at a time.
Okay.
I'll let him go first because he's probably more coated and stuff than I am.
Yeah, I mean, you turn on the amber overhead light from the simple pull, light switch pull, and you've seen horror stories like this in Chicago before. You look like one.
Yeah.
All these clothes got to go. All of them. It's going to take you time to get blood out of your hair.
Fun.
Yeah. As for you, Mr. Drummond, when you get your chance, your face is better. But you realize that like your fingernails and like the cracks in your skin from age hold blood, caked blood. And that's going to take work to get off. So you spend a little time, each of you, in that space to try to get yourself reasonably presentable. Jack, for you, you're likely going to have to find a way to sneak upstairs.
Yeah.
No one is going to be able to see you and think that you weren't involved in a bloody gunfight.
Just the way it is.
It's just the way it is.
All right. Can I sneak over to the doorway into the bar and see if I can't see if there's people out here or where they might be? Or
Yeah, go ahead. Make me a stealth roll.
that's 43 under 82.
You sneak over.
You know what? I'm going to spend 2 points of luck to make that a hard success.
That sounds fantastic. You move like death and get towards that area where you can see out into the dining room and into the lobby spaces. And you see that there are a couple of men with the light on near the front door who are sort of conversing back and forth.
Do I think I can make it up the stairs without them seeing me?
That is going to be a tall order. It's not impossible, but it's essentially a contested roll.
Okay. When Robert's done, I will go back and talk to him. I think you're going to be able to make it. Go to the front door and let them in because you look all right. And while they're talking to you, because there's guys out there, I will sneak up the stairs because there's no way I'm going to be able to pass any kind of inspection like this.
I'll make a big old noise, I promise. Is there any cooking sherry back here?
Probably.
I will dump some on my clothes. Get a good odor.
I'm going to mark for the record here that this is going to end up being a bad idea. But go ahead.
Okay, that's fine.
So you dump a bunch of cooking sherry on yourself.
Not a bunch. I just want a little bit of odor on my clothes.
Okay.
Like I've been out drinking.
Sure.
And I will proceed around to the front.
Mm-hmm.
And I will ring the bell. I will be I know it doesn't take a lot of effort, but I'm going to put a lot of effort into it.
Sure. All right, so I'm going to have Jack make a stealth roll. I'm going to give him advantage for a distraction.
No, not bad. That's a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take that 6.
There's enormous clatter at the front door. You watch it happen, Jack. You watch the doors open. You watch a tall staff member have a conversation or begin to have a conversation with someone you are fairly certain smells like Mr. Drummond. You make your way upstairs. The door opens for you, Mr. Drummond, and the first reaction you get from the man is, "Oh, are you all right?"
I was out a little late tonight. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you locked it up. I'm used to places that are more, shall we say, open.
Of course, sir. What is your room number?
I rattle off my room number.
Of course. Come right in. They give you a opportunity to enter before they close up and lock the door.
And I walk upstairs.
Mm-hmm. By this time, Jack, you're already in your room.
Strip down. Change.
Yep. What are you gonna do with the clothes?
Well, I'm gonna collect everyone's clothes that might have blood on them.
And what are you gonna collect them in? Like a bed sheet or
Pillowcase.
Okay. Robert, you get back to your room.
Mm-hmm.
And you change.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll leave the four of you there in the hotel getting changed. We'll go back to the doctor at the mission. And clearly, there seems to be a mission at hand here. Starrett looks at you and says, What happened to him? What happened to you?
It was, we have had an interesting evening. We confronted someone and, let's say it went interestingly. Yeah? He gestures vaguely to Sam's wounds.
The shotgun wound is fairly, you've seen close wounds before from a shotgun, and this is probably the worst you've ever seen.
Well, I slowly, while he is passed out, so that I don't have to administer him as much anesthetic,
Right.
start picking out the chunks that are closer to the surface whilst I filled the other doctor in little bit here and there as what we did. Not detail for detail, like he gives him a basic rundown of the evening events.
Okay. I would like you to make me a power roll. And remember that you do have advantage on power roll from Iron Will.
I do. 23 under 65. That would make it a hard success.
Okay. So I have you beat on that. Dr. Starrett, as you two are going through your work, he takes a very calm, almost like telephone operator voice with you.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes through the procedure that he recommends for what's going on. You confer as doctors. Both of you are very skilled in medicine. He talks through with you the situation, your story.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the wound cleaning, you realize that Dr. Starrett has he's convinced you to divulge things you did not expect that you would say.
Mm-hmm.
He gets you talking.
Sure.
Through persuasion.
Absolutely. And since Doc is concentrating more on the wound than anything, he's probably doing that, no filter talk shop kind of. Yeah.
Well, and you're getting a chance to talk with another medical doctor.
It's been so long.
Right. And he's really good. And it's clear, two things are very clear. One, he cares about Sam and about making sure that the patient lives through the procedure. And so he goes in with a fine-tooth comb, essentially, to pick out every bit of lead matter that he can find, every little, tiniest different ball.
Yep. Every shrapnel, every bulb. Yeah.
Yep. And at the end, you realize that you've admitted that where the attack happened, you realize that you've admitted who it happened to, and worse, why it happened. And so as you're sewing Sam back up, very carefully coming to the realization that Starrett knows stuff now you wish he didn't. Not because you're worried about Starrett telling the police,
but just for his own sake of knowing them.
Yeah.
What seems commonplace to me is going to be jarring to him. Once it's just a few minutes left of closing work as I'm sewing up Sam, I gesture to his liquor cabinet, I'm sure that's ubiquitous and nearby.
He, after Sam is taken care of, the two of you adjourn to his office.
And, Doc sips a drink a bit. I apologize. I did not mean to burden you with this. Is so much information, details that, well, in any other circumstance, I'm sure you would find to be irrational. But sometimes it is nice to not carry the burden all on my own, you know?
Well, as a Anglican priest as well as a doctor, I have many different roles that I take here. I simply felt that you needed an opportunity to unburden yourself of a very difficult experience.
Doc raises the glass as if to, clink glasses with the doctor, and about a pound and a half of lead from Sam, of course. You can keep that. That is free for you, yeah.
So many different guns now. The hunters from, overseas, from Europe, from the Americas, from...
Americans. Oh, they love their guns, yeah.
They come to hunt elephants, gorillas, rhino. Very popular.
Doc seems visibly saddened by that. The concept of such a beautiful and majestic creature being shot for mere sport is, I must find, to be distasteful at best.
There are entire leagues of hunting associations. It's why I don't deal with Colonel Endicott much because of his hunting lodge.
I cannot say I blame you that much. It's a ghastly and barbaric pastime.
It is. Where will you go now?
We are not sure, actually. In the immediate, anyway. I believe that my associates are probably gathering our things as we speak. Just, precautionary. Our presence in the city has not gone unnoticed, as you will.
Yes. The city has seen, over the past week, many different travelers, yourself included. The trouble with the train may have slowed some of their pace, but it feels like there is a dark blanket coming up. It feels like it is passing over us now.
Doc looks very kind of like he's lost in thought for a moment. Digs out and lights up his pipe. But yeah, me and the doctor make serious and small talk as the hours wane on or as the time wanes on and we wait for Sam to rejoin the world of the conscious.
Yeah. You learn a few things too about Starrett. He's no fool.
No.
That message gets redoubled. He's very much a man that understands that something bad is happening. But it also seems like he's accepted his position of where it needs to be. He understands that the fight, per se, the direct stuff, is not his job.
About that, him and I agree emphatically. Does he have a chess set out? Like a table chess set?
I don't know about out, but
I mean...
yeah.
A gesture and suggest a game while we sit and wait and talk.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly. He says that it may be several hours before Sam wakes back up, which is for his benefit.
Absolutely. I would not rush such a thing.
Yes. So all of the laudanum we've pumped into him.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it would probably kill a rhino itself if I wasn't against it,
So you and Dr. Starrett have a chance to relax, have a drink, and have a game of chess while your patient awaits. Back at the hotel, the group has had an opportunity to clean up and gather their things. In doing so, probably takes a good 15 to 20 minutes at the very least to do so. Now, the ladies had a head start because they were here first, and so they'll get this information first, mostly because the gents at this point are still sort of getting to that final point. Maeve and Lillian, the both of you would audibly pick up that there seem to be more and more voices outside on the street now.
Can we look outside?
Yeah, you got windows.
I'm gonna
bet.
peek outside. Yeah.
You peek outside and you realize that in the street across the park, several police officers have gathered. You can tell because they have lights on their vehicles. And there are 2 vehicles there. They don't look like standard cop cars by modern standards, obviously. They're just vehicles. But there are 4 to 6 officers, and they seem to be getting assembled for something. And they're pointed in the direction of the hotel, like the cars are. And behind them are a group of people, citizens likely, asking a bunch of questions. And you start noticing that some of those citizens have torches, and they look very upset.
I mean, I don't think anybody saw us, and I also don't know how they would have followed us all the way back here. I'll go down to Jack's room. I'll shut the light off in my room, and I'll go down to Jack's room and open, is your door unlocked?
Yeah.
I'm going to open the door and shut the light off and be like, they're gathering outside at that park. I don't know how they followed us here, unless somebody saw me earlier and it's Monster Hunt.
No, I'm willing to bet it's some of the cultists in town probably turned them on to us.
It's probably true. So I don't know how we're going to get out. I don't know what we're going to do. So for maybe leave all of our stuff behind and come and get it later.
Might have to. Just take the most important things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at this point, we're so close to finishing this that, I don't want... For me, my material possessions are not more important than finishing this. I will leave all the books. I've gotten what I need out of them right now, except for one book, because nobody should find that one. But, yeah.
That makes sense. We should get the other 2.
Okay. Let me go swap a few books.
All right, I'll get the other 2.
Okay.
I'm going to have to do a series with Maeve's little library.
Right. Well, see, there's some scary books that, I don't think that should be left for just, anybody to find.
Some scary books?
Okay, one in particular.
All of them technically are scary, but there's the one that you sure don't want other people finding.
No.
All right, fair enough. So you go back to your room. You make some choices about what you're going to take in and out of the trunk. Now, your trunk has the false bottom in it, which is where some things occasionally get stored at. That's the reason why that trunk is so heavy. One of the things that's stored in it is a Thompson. So my question is that trunk staying here?
I don't know.
Okay, y'all can figure that out. I'm sure it's nothing. It'll pass, right?
Right. Yeah, it won't be a big deal.
It won't be a big deal at all. You'll have to figure that out. After another 5 or so minutes, the 2 of you are done physically being cleaned up and in new clothes. All of the dirty clothes, we'll say, have been collected in a pillowcase and can be disposed of when the time is right.
I am going to go downstairs and see what's going on. If it gets a little heated, you guys might want to slip out the back. Take that pillowcase with you and dispose of it somewhere.
There's a back entrance?
Yeah, there's through
it's
the
around
kitchen.
the back.
Okay, through the kitchen? Okay. For the record,
Yes.
since I'm not sure that we are not going to run from this place, I have not taken the ropes off. Because I
Okay.
still have because it holds my scepters, it holds everything. If I have to, I'll just clean them up a little bit, but I don't have another set, I don't think.
Just going through the books to figure out how to get blood out of the cultist robe.
Do I have 2 sets? I don't think so.
Nope.
Nope.
The only other robe that was collected was the yellow robe that Sam collected at the tea shop, as well as the ring.
And,
Right.
and it doesn't look good with your skin tone.
Right.
No, really, actually, it would clash terribly. That's the other thing, too, that you would be probably hyper aware of, and that is that if there is any sort of confrontation, you border on the I should probably wear head wrap when I go out places.
Well, that's the other thing is these robes have a hood.
They do.
So that helps too.
Okay. Jack, you head downstairs.
Yeah.
When you head downstairs, there is a uniformed officer standing in the lobby talking to one of the staff members. The man that you think let Mr. Drummond in. And sort of as your shoes hit the main foyer, like sitting area, right across from the double doors, you hear something to the effect of, "We know they're in here and they need to come out."
Gentlemen.
The officer turns towards you, and so does the staff member. The officer steps over. "Can I help you, sir?"
What seems to be all the commotion?
It seems there was a unfortunate murder. This
Murder?
evening. Yes, at the Asian Quarter, and the tea house owner was murdered.
Oh my God, how dreadful.
Terrible. We believe that some people here in the hotel maybe have taken part.
No, that can't be. I mean, the people here are all good people. I mean, you think so?
There have been some witnesses to what happened, and they have given us some descriptions.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. He looks down at a piece of paper. You see his eyes move across it, and he puts it in his jacket pocket. "Can you tell me where you have been this evening?"
I've been here all evening.
All evening.
Yes, in my room. I was tired. It was a long day.
All right, Jack, be prepared to lie, sir.
Well, that's what I do. 67 under 71.
Okay. So I have a hard success. He looks at you, and you see him furrow his brow a little bit. "We're going to ask you to come to the station to answer some questions."
Of course.
And it does appear there are some others here. He pulls the paper back out. There were a pair of women that came to the hotel this evening. He looks up at I say up because the staff member is taller than he is. There are some women here who are also going to be questioned. And you have their room numbers? The staff member acknowledges. "We'll have you all come down and answer some questions, and then I'm certain that we'll have this resolved."
Of course. Right.
He turns and then heads outside for a moment. The staff member looks at you a little sheepish.
Don't worry about it.
"Oh, he's not worried." You hear Reggie's voice come from the back side of the hotel, sort of to your side. "Not sure he's worried at all about it, Mr. Doyle. Do you remember what you said to me before you left?"
Oh, I remember exactly.
"I look forward to seeing you answer these questions."
I wonder if they'll be interested in knowing what's in the basement.
"The basement?"
Yeah. And your part in it.
I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I'm an upstanding business owner here in Nairobi. And you are evidently a potential traveling murderer.
I mean, we actually have 2 eyewitnesses that put you talking to her just hours before she was brutally murdered. And in an agitated state as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. My hands are clean. I doubt yours are.
I seriously doubt your hands are clean.
He sort of gestures. He's a good 20 feet away. You can't really even see him in the dark. He's sitting over there at the bar in the dark. But he sort of waves his fingers at you.
Sleep well.
Oh, I will.
And then I'll walk out front.
You walk out front.
Yep.
And
I will stride out front.
You stride out front. And very quickly into the arms reach of the Nairobi police.
Gentlemen, do I need some bracelets?
Oh, that's not necessary. We're not placing you under arrest. You'll have an opportunity to give us your story. In the park, beyond the vehicles and beyond the police, you see people in the dim light there, the torchlight. who are very interested as well as your story goes. The police pass you. They put you in the seat of one of the cars, and they enter the hotel, after which they come upstairs. Those of you who are still left in the hotel begin to hear heavy foot traffic on the second floor.
I'm going to take my revolver and stuff it into my... if I haven't already, I'm going to stuff it into into one of my trunks.
Mm-hmm. I would just say, just so we're clear, all of you would have had time to make whatever packing preparations. You'd have had enough. You want to stuff a revolver in something, you want to do something with something, you'd have that time. That time, however, is now over.
Is there a balcony?
Yes, actually, there's a balcony on every single second floor.
Is it on the front or the back or the side of the
That's a
hotel?
great question. So what we'll say is, because you would be able to see, right? If you roll luck and you pass, I will make one of your rooms, I'll make your room a corner room, which would give you the advantage of being able to get to the alley beside the hotel.
Yes, that's an 11 out of what's luck? Yeah, my luck is 80.
Okay. Yeah, you're in luck, Miss O'Shea, because your room is one of these corner rooms that has sort of front windows, but the balcony itself is to the side, not to the front. And so you do have a potential egress point. There's a hard, sharp rap on your door, Miss Lane.
I call out, who's there?
Nairobi police. Please come to the door, Miss Lane.
How fast can I get undressed?
I guess it depends on what you're wearing.
I'm just pants and a shirt. And
I mean, I would say probably if you were... The boots are going to be the tough part. But not to put too fine a point on it, but I'll say 25, 30 seconds. If you sit down on the bed nearby, you pull the boots off, you can drop your pants and pull the shirt off probably in 15, 20 seconds. I mean, if you mean to.
Yep, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I not take off all my undergarments,
Well,
but I
certainly
will.
not.
Yeah. And I'll call up. Give me just a second, please. I will grab a towel from. I'm assuming there's towels in there
Mhm.
from the hotel.
Yep.
Throw one over around my hair.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a towel around my body.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm in a rush, kind of like, it's open in the back, but in the front I have myself covered.
Certainly.
And I open the door. I open the door just wide enough so they can see that I am not dressed. I did. If I get a couple extra seconds, I will shove the rifle under the mattress or the shotgun under the mattress or in a corner somewhere behind the door where they
So
can't
it's
see
out
it.
of sight?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I open the door.
You open the door.
Yes.
He takes a step back, just a slight one. My apologies, Miss Lane. You can see he takes us to mentally fumble with the idea of you not being decent. He looks down towards the ground. He doesn't keep your gaze. He says, the police sergeant has asked for you to come to the station to make a statement. You're to be questioned about an event that happened in Nairobi tonight.
No. What event is that?
We will speak more at the station about it.
Do you mind if I get myself ready? And I'd be happy to meet you at the station. It just might take me a few minutes.
I'm happy to wait outside.
Like outside the hotel or outside my door?
I will be right here waiting for you. He, again, eventually lifts his gaze back to you. I apologize. I didn't realize you were...
In a state of undress?
Yes.
Well, you interrupted me in the middle of my, evening bath.
He looks at you a little funny. Understood. I'll wait here. He steps back and sort of turns around.
Well, I close the door and
Mm-hmm.
go back and hurry up and get dressed. Is there any exit points from my room? Or does my room face the front of the hotel?
I think your room faces the front of the hotel. Now, I mean, could you get creative and try to figure out a way to get into Miss O'Shea's room? Sure. But there are no like adjoining doors or anything like that. That's not how this hotel is built.
Well,
it's really getting dressed that you realize what you may have fumbled. Like you going to get dressed and you realize that you told the cop outside that you were in the bath, but you're wearing a bra. And he would have seen the straps over the towel.
I like bathing with my bra on. Yeah, I will get dressed, and what I know that Maeve's room has a balcony.
I don't know if you'd know it does, but you would know it's a corner room. So it would at least have an option.
All right, I will get dressed and I will grab my satchel.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably going to search me, so I probably can't bring any weapons. Maybe. I mean, will they search me? Do we know?
You don't know, but you can make assumptions. When was the last time you've been brought in for questioning by the police?
Never.
Okay, so you have no
I have
idea
no
what's going to
idea.
happen.
I have
Yeah, you have.
when I met the doctor.
That's right. Well, I mean, that's just the first thing that happens after you meet the doctor, which is the police question you.
Not knowing if they'll search me or not, I will put a blade in my boot.
Okay.
I get dressed and I'll have my satchel. I grab my King in Yellow book. I shove it in there because it's like a security blanket.
Certainly.
And
yeah.
I will go out the door and I will ask the police officer and say, do you mind if I let my one of my companions know that I will be going down to the station?
Oh, they'll be coming with all of them. This way, man. He points towards the stair with a wide arm.
So do I hear all this?
Yeah, you hear all of
Okay.
this.
And when I looked out front, did I see Jack out front?
Yeah. He made a
He made a gesture, so I wanted to make sure that like I saw that.
Yes, he put 2 middle fingers in the air and said, "Come get me, copper."
Okay.
No. He certainly was loud enough, quote unquote. He was boisterous enough.
So I know he's going. I know Lillian's going. Okay, I'll just go because if I have to, I'll dominate the whole fucking precinct.
Hey, it works.
We continue to Mr. Drummond's door, where you were eventually asked to be requisitioned by the police in questioning.
I say, I'll be glad to. And I take my coat and out the door I go. Not that coat, the other one.
No, certainly. Speaking of that, Jack, what did you do with the bag? Where did you throw that bag of bloody clothes?
I gave it to Drummond.
Hey, Robert, what did you do with that bag of bloody clothes? Just wondering.
Put it in one of my trunks.
Okay.
I put it in the bottom and threw my clothes on top of it. And
Nice.
I made sure to put the sherry stained ones on the top.
Of course. So the 4 of you get collected into 2 different vehicles, and you are taken to the Nairobi police headquarters. You are afforded reasonable comforts on the way, meaning nobody tries to bash your skull in. There doesn't seem to be any malice with the police coming and asking you to be questioned, right? It's not them per se. But what you do get a complete and clear view is all of the people standing around those cars. And so many of them are very interested to see you go. And it's clear, too, that some of them followed the cars to the police station. And I think that's as best a time to end. And so we want to thank you for listening to this episode of Masks of Nyarlathotep. We are continuing our Kenya adventures, and we'll pick it up next week. Thank you, and good night.